The police have charged suspect in the murder of Paulwell's daughter and her mother. A chilling tales of how a mother lost her life along with her daughter due to jealousy. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV Let's Talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember to like, share, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. We'll be right back after this short break with the full details. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Links 007 TV Let's Talk. This is the place where we discuss issues of national importance, global importance, or the situation that are buzzing in the news. Toshyna Patterson and Sarayah Paulwell, those two names have been synonymous in the news for the past few days and now culminating into the tragic end and charges being laid against some individuals who the police believe are responsible for their disappearance and then subsequent murder. What transpired in this case is very sad and it's very unfortunate, but it just goes to show you how the hearts of people can be so cold and how people can let jealousy and rage get the better of them. Now, a mother has lost her life, a daughter has lost her life, and a family is left right now in mourning based on the circumstances that surrounding the death of these two individuals and the subsequent arrest of a number of people who the police believe are responsible for taking their life. Without no delay, let me just get straight into the meat of the matter as we're about to uncover the truth of what transpired to these two individuals. So the police have provided an update in relation to the case, which I'm about to share with you later on in this report. So the female that the police believe is responsible for this gruesome act that took place just a few days ago is Leoda Bradshaw, the American companion of opposition lawmaker Philip Paulwell. So she reportedly traveled to Jamaica with a sole purpose of murdering Paulwell's infant daughter and her mother. So this happened one day after she confronted the woman on Facebook about the infant. Now the police have carried out a massive investigation in order to try to put the missing pieces of the puzzle together. So the female at the center of this investigation right now has been identified as a 34-year-old US Navy officer who reportedly arrived on the island 4 days before Toshyna Patterson, age 27, and her 10-month-old daughter Sarayah Paulwell were abducted outside their St. Andrew home on September the 9th. They were allegedly taken to East Kingston and shot and killed and their bodies burnt. So yesterday, Mr. Fitz-Bailey, who holds position for the crime portfolio, provided this update in relation to the case which we're about to share with you.
As the JCF continues the investigation into the disappearance of Toshyna Patterson and her 10-month-old child, Sarayah Paulwell, from their homes at 3 Gilmore Drive, Kingston 20, on Saturday, September 9, 2023, I wish to inform the public that we are now satisfied by the overwhelming evidence secured that both Toshyna Patterson and her 10-month-old baby, Sarayah, were brutally murdered and their bodies burned and disposed of. It is one of the most painful investigations for the team since recent times. However, the team of investigators continue to be professional and remain focused. Charges in relation to the investigations have been preferred as follows. Leoda Vanessa Bradshaw, 34 years old, petty officer in the US Navy. She was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of murder. Roland Lloyd Balfour, 30 years old, assistant graphic designer of 67 Commission Road, Kingston 2. He was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, misprison of felon. Roshane Miller, 29 years old, AC technician of 1B Camperdown Road, Kingston, 16. He was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, and misprison of felon. Richard Brown, OC Richie, OC Gerla, 31 years old, graphic designer of 2 Campden Road, Kingston, 16. He was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, and 2 counts of kidnapping. The DPP has obtained a voluntary bail, and the case will be taken directly to the Supreme Court. The investigation continues. I will not go into more specifics regarding the investigation, but as I said, this is one of the most painful experience for the investigators, and I want to commend the investigators who are directed from CIB headquarters by Superintendent Champagny and the team, as well as those from St. Andrew Central, which is headed by DSP Price.
So Miss Bradshaw is alleged to have paid 100,000 Jamaican dollars to a hitman as part of a down payment, which was $500,000 in order to carry out the hit on Miss Toshyna Patterson. The police have uncovered some real damning information about Miss Bradshaw, which we're about to share with you. The allegations were disclosed on Friday in the Home Circuit Courts in Kingston, after Bradshaw and her cousin Roland Balfour were brought before Justice Simon Wolfe Rees on the voluntary bill of indictment to bypass proceeding in the parish court. So it seemed as if this was a jealous rage that went extremely sour, as both females allegedly had or was having a relationship with Mr. Paulwell at the time of this unfortunate circumstance. What led to the disappearance of the mother and daughter still puzzles many, as the police try to put the missing pieces of the puzzle together. They have so far laid some really serious charges on Miss Bradshaw, who also have a child for Mr. Paulwell. So Miss Bradshaw, who also shares a child with Paulwell, was charged with 2 counts of capital murder, conspiracy to murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy to kidnapping. Balfour was charged with 2 counts of accessory before the fact to kidnapping and accessory before the fact to murder. On Friday, the Director of Public Prosecution, Andrew Martin Swaby, outlined the damning allegation. Bradshaw bowed her head as the court heard how she contracted the hitman and hitched a plan to murder and kidnap the woman and her child before landed in Jamaica. According to the allegation, on September the 5th, Bradshaw learned of the child's existence and contacted Patterson via Facebook while introducing herself as the parliamentarian's wife. So if most of you do not know, Philip Paulwell is a Jamaican politician who is currently the Member of Parliament for the constituency of East Kingston and Port Royal. Paulwell was born in Jamaica on the 14th of January 1962 and sometimes referred to as the Honorable Philip Paulwell, who served as the Minister of Science and Technology and Mining in the People's National Party administration. So Miss Bradshaw contacted Philip Paulwell's baby mother in Jamaica, stating that she was the wife. So based on this revelation that was made, I did my own personal investigation and found out that Mr. Philip Paulwell got married back in the year 2000, but it was not to Miss Bradshaw. In the year 2000, Mr. Philip Paulwell allegedly got married to an individual who goes by the name Kerry-Ann, and she is a visionary and natural creator of art and life. She is the owner of Kerry Man Woman Home and the producer of the collection Moda. So with that said, and my own personal investigation, this was the only woman I came into contact with of Mr. Paulwell calling his wife, which they are not even no longer together. So with Miss Bradshaw uttering such nonsense out of her mouth, saying that she is the wife of Mr. Philip Paulwell, I can just imagine how Miss Toshyna Patterson might have felt when she heard those words uttering out of Miss Bradshaw's mouth. So during the conversation between Miss Bradshaw and Miss Patterson on social media platform Facebook, During the exchange, she reportedly advised Patterson to conduct a paternity test, but following the conversation, the woman blocked her on the social media platform. The prosecution said that the following day, Bradshaw, who resides in the United States, arrived in Jamaica on a mission to murder the woman and her child. With the help of her cousin and co-defendant Balfour, Bradshaw reportedly contracted men, including Rashawn Miller and Richard Brown, to kidnap and murder the woman and her daughter. Later that night, the men reportedly went to check out the area where Patterson lived. It is further alleged that on September the 7th, they went to a home in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, where Bradshaw was staying to discuss the execution of the kidnapping and also the murder plot. 2 days later, before 7 a.m., Bradshaw reportedly made calls to Patterson with the view of luring her out of her home, but was unsuccessful on that attempt. Based on evidential material, Bradshaw showed up at Patterson's Gilmore Drive, Kingston 20 home at 7 a.m. in a tinted SUV motor vehicle. One thing people have to understand that Jamaica is becoming more sophisticated as it relates to technology, so more than likely the police might have depended on CCTV footage in order to gather this information. So Patterson and her baby entered the vehicle, where they remained for more than 15 minutes. The vehicle left the area at 7:22 a.m. Martin Swaby added that the Crown is alleging that Bradshaw then took the woman to Stony Hill along with her daughter, where she handed them over to the men. The woman and her daughter were forcefully taken to Warwicker Hill in St. Andrew, where they were shot and their bodies burned. Police officers later visited the crime scene, where they found dried out bones and blood near the area where the two bodies believed to have been killed and burned. The prosecutor in the meantime indicated that disclosure will be made on October 23rd. Attorney at law Deborah Martin, who is representing Bradshaw, further advised the court that both parties have agreed to a December 1st mentioned date. Consequently, both defendants were remanded in custody. According to a press release from the Office of Director of Public Prosecution, voluntary bills of indictment were preferred before the Home Circuit Court earlier this week in respect of two other defendants, Brown and Miller, and they were scheduled to return to court later this month when the matter should be mentioned. Miller is charged with 2 counts of accessory before the fact of murder and accessory before the fact of kidnapping, while Brown is facing 2 counts of conspiracy to murder and conspiracy of kidnapping. Attorney at law Kelly Hamilton is also representing Bradshaw. Attorney at law Bert Samuels, Matthew Hyde, and Courtney Rowe is representing Balfour. This case just goes to show you that crime and violence is very rampant in our country. And when we look on this case, it just goes to show you that women as well are playing their part in crime and violence that is wreaking havoc in our country. She might have not carried out the act herself, but she is an accessory to the fact of this crime being committed. What happened to these 2 individuals will forever rest on the hearts and minds of many for the years to come. We here at Links 007 TV will take this opportunity right now just to express our heartfelt and sincere condolences to the family and friends. But it just goes to show you how relationships and how things such as these can make a dramatic twist, sometime for the better and even sometime for the worse. In this case, it made a twist for the worse, with 2 individuals' life being viciously taken uncalled for. And now they have landed themselves behind bars. And I hope that justice is served in this matter, because especially that little child, she did not deserve this. She is the innocent victim of this whole entire predicament right now. And I hope that justice will be served. This has been Links 007 TV Let's Talk, and we'll continue to track this story and provide you with more information to comment this in a later report. Thanks for watching.